Hi, YouTube friends. It's Kate. I have been home a few days from the hospital. I received my transabdominal cerclage, so I wanted to make a video kind of recounting my experience. I know that when I was on the hunt for information about the TAC, I was kind of looking for videos like these, and I really just wanted to hear from other people's experience and how it was for them. I'm the type of person that I like to know everything that I'm getting into, good or bad. So I wanted to share my experience and hope that this helps somebody who needs this information. So I do want to preface and say that this is my experience. It doesn't mean it would be your experience or even that it is the same experience as another woman. And I can only share what I have been through, but nonetheless, I hope that this is helpful. So I thought that I would kind of talk from the pre-op to the surgery, and then since I have been home. So let's start with pre-op. So my pre-op was scheduled about 2 weeks before my actual surgery date. And I used Dr. Sumner's, did my surgery, and he, at this moment of time, is the most experienced doctor doing this surgery. So I just thank my lucky stars that he is close by. Um, so because I am local, I only live about an hour drive away. They scheduled my pre-op 2 weeks prior to the surgery. I do know that if you are not local, that they schedule your pre-op one day before the surgery. So typically surgeries, he does them on Thursdays. So you would drive or fly down and get there Wednesday, have your pre-op, stay overnight, have your surgery, and then I think depending on your circumstance, potentially staying another night or not. So since I didn't have a long drive, they said there's no sense of you coming down back to back, like making an hour trip Wednesday and then coming back for your surgery. So we're going to schedule this out a little bit, which was fine. So the pre-op appointment was pretty basic. You go in, they did an ultrasound, they did a physical exam, asked you some questions. Dr. Sumner's did like a really quick pelvic exam where he was just checking my cervix, and that was it for us. And then we were, our surgery date was confirmed. They showed us where to enter in the hospital, gave us information about what would take place on surgery day and all of that, and we were sent on our merry ways. So not bad at all. So let's jump forward to the actual surgery day. I was scheduled the first surgery of the day, which was 7 a.m. I had to be there at 5 a.m. So we were up at 3 a.m. Getting ready, taking a shower, and out the door by quarter till 3 to get down there. And once we arrived, we checked in. They have you take a seat in like a waiting area, and then a nurse came and got us and walked us back. So she showed my husband where the family waiting area was and also gave him a sheet of paper that corresponded with information on the TV board. So they assigned me an identification number, and then next to that identification number on the screen, it would say, patient has checked in pre-op, in surgery, in recovery, etc., so that he kind of knows the status of what is going on. And then they give him a pager so that he knows when they like beep him when he's allowed to come back. So we leave my husband in the family waiting area, and she takes me back to like the official pre-op area. And I had to give a urine sample. I changed into a gown, and then they took some blood draws, and they did the IVs. They have to do 2 IVs, which they explained to me, I guess, is pretty standard with this procedure. I don't know if it is with all of them, but anyway, expect to get 2 IVs. So that was the worst part for me because I've always had an issue with them trying to find my veins, and they were just poking around, especially my right arm, forever trying to find something. And I was just like, is this over? But they got it. And one thing I do want to note, because I've seen questions come up like on the Abby Loopers page and things like that, is can you get this surgery if you are on your period? And the answer is yes, because I actually started my period the day of the surgery, and there's no issue at all. And but I just feel like that question comes up a lot. And so they just give you, like when I change into that gown, they give you like those mesh panties, those postpartum panties with a pad, and that's it. And I got to be honest, I don't even know if they ever took them off in the surgery. Um, I had the robotic assisted tack, and so I had like iodine and stuff all over my legs, but when I woke up, but I didn't even know if they changed them out or what, but I'll get to that in a minute. But I wanted to bring that up because that question comes up a lot. It's a question I had when I was like trying to schedule the surgery. I hope that's not like too much information for some people, but hey, you want to know what you're getting into and what to expect, right? So, after I received the IV, they ask you a bunch of questions and then they page for my husband to come back and he's able to sit with me. And it's during that time that the the doctor visited, the anesthesiologist visited, resident doctors, and just saying, "Do you have any questions?" All of that. And I was just really worked up that day. I had a lot of anxiety the days leading up to the surgery, had a lot of anxiety about being put under anesthesia. Even though I had done it before, I don't know, I was just like, I'm gonna live, right? Like everything's gonna go okay. I was just really, really anxious. And it was also almost 4 months to the day since we lost Josie, and I was in that same hospital. And I don't know if that was just bringing up a lot of emotions, but I was just really kind of, I was just tearing up and nervous and scared. And the anesthesiologist said, I'm going to give you some what he called relaxing medicine before you go back just to, you know, get rid of your anxiety a bit and all of that. I said, okay. And then it was time to wheel me back. I told the nurse, I said, I really need to use the restroom. And she's like, well, if you're not about to pee your pants, like we are heading back for surgery right now and you're going to get a catheter while you're put under anyway. And I said, so she's like, if you can wait, you're gonna get a catheter anyway. I said, okay, that's fine, but like my bladder's full, like it needs to be within the next 10 minutes. She's like, oh yeah, that's fine. So as we were like wheeling back, we like round around the corner and the anesthesiologist there and says, wait, I promised her I would give her some of this relaxing medicine. Um, I felt like at that point, I'm like, do I really need this? Cause I'm about to be put to sleep, but, I didn't like argue or anything. So he puts something in my IV, the quote, relaxing medicine, and he says, you're going to feel this in about 10 seconds. And I said, I'm going to be asleep in 10 seconds. He says, no, no, no. You're just going to feel this. I'm like, okay. And I'm telling you, I don't even remember if I had my glasses on at that point. I feel like I did, but I can't remember. And everything was kind of like going blurry a little bit. I just felt like a little woo, I don't know. And so we get into the surgery room, which I can hardly really remember what that even looked like because I feel like I was already kind of out of it and they wanted me to move onto the surgery bed. So I do kind of remember moving myself onto the surgery bed, leaning back to put my neck and head into that, brace that they have. And the nurse saying, are you comfortable? Do you feel okay? I said, yes, I feel fine. And then I was like on my way out. I don't know how much time elapsed, but the only other thing I remember is them putting the mask over your face and saying breathe, and then I was just totally out. So I woke up in the post-op area. So I'm gonna stop there. And while I was sleeping in the post-op, Dr. Sumners did come out and talked with my husband after the surgery and just let him know that, everything went well. He also told my husband, and of course, since my husband has relayed this back to me. So, he told my husband that I have a tiny cervix. He said about the size of a dime. I don't really know what that means. But he said he didn't believe that a TVC would have held in future pregnancies well. He said there's really no way to say, but he doesn't believe, based on the size of my cervix, that a TVC would have worked well for me in the future. So when Alex told me that, I just feel like it validated my reasonings and doing this surgery this way. I just felt really good about that. So let's shoot back. So then I started to wake up in the post-op area, And when I woke up again, I felt like I really had to go to the bathroom. And I told the nurse, and she says, no, no, it's just from the medicine or whatever that they give you. And I said, okay. And I drifted back off to sleep. Any of you that have ever woken up from anesthesia know that it is so hard. It's like bricks on your eyelids. And I started to wake up again, and I told the nurse, I said, actually, I really do think I need to use the restroom. She says, I don't think that you do, but do you want me to get a bedpan? I said, nope, nope, I'm good. Don't have to go that bad. And I do want to say that this sensation did wear off. So I actually did not have to go to the restroom. Excuse me. I did not have to go to the restroom, but you kind of feel like that. So they then bring my husband back. They take me into a different room, and I was just able to kind of relax a little bit until felt like I was able to get up to get into a wheelchair, and that took some time. And they did let me relax a little bit. I attempted to try to get up into the wheelchair a few times, and I just couldn't. I was just nauseous and dizzy. I just couldn't do it yet. So I did relax a little bit, but I was finally able to. And at that point, they took me to the ultrasound, and the ultrasound technician, took images of the TAC. They gave me some pictures. Of course, I didn't really understand what I was looking at, but she pointed it out to me, and it just looks like a tiny little speck, like a tiny little white dot on the picture. But they explained to me that they use this for reference, I believe, in the future. So I was told that prior, let's see how I should explain this. Okay, if or when we decide to have a second child, prior to trying to conceive, we need to go in to get the TAC checked just to make sure that there's been no changes and that everything looks good. So she took images of that, and she told me, she said, was measuring my cervical length. And again, I'm not pregnant. She said the length is 2.9 centimeters. Well, that didn't mean anything to me. I said, okay, so is that like good? What's that mean? And she's like, well, I guess for reference, for pregnant women, we really don't like to see the cervix go below 2.5 centimeters. And I feel like I was like, okay, so that kind of, now I understand like why I was having issues. I'm starting towards the territory that they don't want you to be in when you're pregnant, and I'm not. And she said, don't worry, you got your TAC and you're fixed now. Everything's good. So I changed. The doctor came back in, looked at the images, talked with him for just like a minute, and we were done and sent home. So then made a drive back home, which was no big deal. And I just rested the rest of the day. And I've been okay since I've been home. I'm filming this on a Sunday, so it's been 3 days. I'm feeling about 75%. I'm just relaxing on the couch right now. My husband had to go back to work today, so I'm just going to take it easy being home by myself. But I feel about like 75%. The pain is really not that bad. And again, I want to reiterate, I had the robotic assisted transabdominal cerclage, which is less invasive than the open TAC. And but not all doctors do the robotic assisted. There's lots of information about that on the Abby Loopers page. But Dr. Sumner's, I think, this is his preferred method when you're not pregnant, and the recovery really hasn't been that bad. Friday morning, that first morning I woke up at home, I was sore. I took ibuprofen. They don't give you any like heavy narcotics or anything, and I didn't feel like I needed them. Don't I'm the person, I don't even like taking Tylenol if I don't have to. I will rough out a headache. I really don't like taking pain meds, but I didn't even really feel like I needed them that much. I did take one Friday morning. I also had shoulder pain because they pump your stomach full of gas. So I did have shoulder pain, and they give you information about that and let you know that you will experience some, but it went away after about a day or two. At this point, I have no shoulder pain today. But my stomach was puffy when I got home. It was puffy the second day. They encourage you to take Colace to keep your bowels moving. So I did that. I really made sure that I ate healthy, high fiber foods when I got home, and started with more liquids and then moved on to higher fiber, healthy stuff. And I've had no issues at all. So I think today I'm going to be off the Colace. I don't really feel like I need it, but kind of I think depending on your circumstance, you would continue taking it. I've like read things where women said that they were taking Colace even like days prior to the surgery. I did not, and personally, I don't really feel like that is necessary. So I do want to kind of go back and touch where I told you guys that I was on my period during the surgery. When I got home in days since, my period has been very, very light. And I'm assuming that this is, from the surgery, that the cycle might be a little wonky or whatever. But I would just say probably expect some changes in your menstrual cycle, perhaps the first cycle. Of course, I can't speak because till next month, but that's something perhaps to be aware of too. I also am going to link to my blog down below. I'm going to post a picture of my stomach showing where the stitches and incisions and stuff are. This is so weird, but it was information that I wanted to see when I was looking for information about the TAC, not that where they do the incision was going to like make or break doing the surgery for me. But again, I'm just a person. I want to know what to expect. I want to know what I'm getting into. And it was kind of hard to find some pictures about that online. So I took a picture of my stomach one day since being home on Friday. So you can see like the incision and where the tapes are and like how puffed out my stomach is still from that gas. And I'm going to post it on my blog. So I will put a link down below if you're interested in looking at that, if that's something that you want to see. And I'll probably post a little bit more information on the blog too. So check that out if you're interested. But other than that, again, I'm feeling pretty good today. Yeah, but if anybody on here is watching this and has questions about the TAC and you're kind of in that phase where you're gathering information, please reach out to me. I'd be happy to help as much as I can in any way. So I'm happy to help another woman that has gone through this experience. And I just feel, really hopeful for the future, and hopefully things start to look up from here. So that is all I have for you guys, and I will see you another time. Bye.